From the book The Imitation of Christ by Thomas A. Kempis. Chapter 48. On the Day of Eternity and the Troubles of this Life. Disciple. O blessed mansion of the heavenly city, how bright is the day of eternity! There no darkness ever obscures, for God, the high truth, illumines and makes all clear. Day is always joyful, always secure, and never changes to the contrary. Oh, how I long for that day to shine upon me, when all temporal things will come to an end. That blessed day indeed shines upon the saints with everlasting clarity, while we earthly pilgrims perceive it only as a distant goal, seen only through a dark glass. The heavenly citizens know how full of joy that day is, but we poor banished children of Eve know full well the bitterness and how tedious are the days of our earthly exile. These days are short indeed, but full of evil, sorrow, and trouble. We are often defiled by many sins, enmeshed in our own passions, disquieted by a multitude of fears, overwhelmed with unceasing cares, distracted with curiosities and endless vanities, blinded by errors, burdened by labors which wear us down, vexed by temptations, weakened by worldly pleasures, and sometimes tormented by poverty and want. When will there be an end of these miseries? When shall we be set free from the bondage of sin and vice? When, O Lord, will you occupy all my thoughts, so that I find in you my full measure of joy? When shall I live in true liberty, free of the impediments of mind and body? Above all, when will that peace so desired by all human beings, firm and undisturbed within and without, secure on all sides? O dear Jesus, when shall I behold you face to face, to stand and contemplate the glory of your kingdom? When will you be all in all to me? Oh, when will I be in your kingdom, which from all eternity you have prepared for those who love you? For now I am bereft, poor and exiled in the enemy's country, faced with the battles of daily life which threaten to make me fail you. Comfort me in my exile, ease my sorrow, for to you I cry out with longing. For the comforts of this world can only be a burden to me, since all I long to enjoy is the intimate possession of you, even though now this is unattainable. Although my desire is to cling to heavenly things, yet I am dragged down by my unmortified passions. My mind wishes to rise above these things, but the weakness of my flesh drags me down against my will. Unhappy person that I am, I fight with myself and am a burden to myself. Job chapter 7 verse 20. While at one and the same time, my spirit tends upward and my flesh ever seeks the things below. What inward suffering is mine, while my mind would think of heavenly things, and my prayers are interrupted by a host of carnal thoughts. O dear God, do not remain far from me, and depart not from your servant in anger. Psalm chapter 27 verse 9. Send the light of your grace and dispel all carnal thoughts from me. Let the lightning of your love come with all speed to put to flight the strategy of the enemy. Grant that my senses may be recollected in you, so that I may forget all worldly desires. Help me, O divine truth, and purify all my motives. When you send your heavenly sweetness, every impurity will flee before your face. In your great mercy, forgive me also all those times that I think of anything besides you in time of prayer. For I must confess, and you well know it, Lord, that I am usually very distracted. So often my thoughts are miles away from where my body stands or sits, and these thoughts are mostly occupied with the things I love. The things I most readily think of are things that are pleasant to nature and the product of habit. But you, O eternal truth, have plainly told us, where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. Matthew chapter 6 verse 21. So, if I love heaven, I love to think of heavenly things. But if I love the world, I rejoice at its prosperity and grieve over its adversity. If I love the Spirit, I delight to think of spiritual things, but if I love the flesh, my imagination is occupied with the delights of the flesh. So whatever is uppermost in my affections, these I willingly listen to and speak of, and carry the thoughts of them often in my mind. Blessed are those who abandon all things for love of you, O Lord, who overcome their nature and, through fervor of spirit, crucify the lusts of the flesh. Then with a serene conscience they may offer pure prayer to you, and at last become worthy to join the choirs of the holy angels, having shut out all the internal and external things of this world. Trust all things to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, and to Mary, help of Christians, and you will see what miracles are. St. John Bosco. To learn more about Almighty God, our Father of mercies, work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus, and your vital, irreplaceable, indispensable, and God-given holy apostolate of reparation, visit www.theworkofreparationtotheholyfaceofjesus.com. Jesus said to Sister Mary of St. Peter, "By my holy face you will work wonders, appease the anger of God, and draw down mercy on sinners," and he still means it.